Hi, everyone. I will talk about this guy, the director of the Elsword, Lee Dong-shin. I will not dig deep into this guy, and I didn't know him in person, so what I talk about him is based on my point of view and his message that post on the Elsword KR website. And yes, as you see in the topic of this video, he probably has a mental disorder called sociopath or antisocial personality disorder. I told you again, this is my point of view since I play the game and it's not confirmed by him, so please take this as an educational purpose only. And what is sociopath? Antisocial personality disorder, sometimes called sociopathy, is a mental health condition in which a person consistently shows no regard for right and wrong and ignores the rights and feelings of others. People with antisocial personality disorder tend to purposely make others angry or upset and manipulate or treat others harshly or with cruel indifference. They lack remorse or do not regret their behavior. People with antisocial personality disorder often violate the law, becoming criminals. They may lie, behave violently or impulsively, and have problems with drug and alcohol use. They have difficulty consistently meeting responsibilities related to family, work, or school. I heard that in Korea was love to drink a soju, and I think Lee Dong-shin or this guy might be a heavy drinker as well. If he really was a heavy drinker, which means he drinks soju to let his stress away to can keep working day by day. That is why this guy Lee Dong-shin always forgot what the player have complained to him, and the player may misunderstand and think that he has an Alzheimer. For me personally, I don't think he has an Alzheimer, but he wants to run away from the reality by drinking the soju to forget the painful truth and the problem that he causes. Well, whatever, let's go to his message on the Elsword KR website. This message is after the event of Zero Won campaign in Korea in May. Hello. This is Lee Dong-shin, the director of Elsword. First of all, thank you to the TF adventurers who joined us for today's interview. It was a meaningful time to hear the current situation of Elsword as the current adventurers think and feel through the TF adventurers for a not short time. It was a time when I could deeply sympathize with the parts that were lacking while developing and servicing Elsword, especially the advice you gave on communication. We will do our best to show improvement in the future for the parts that are lacking. I don't know what the TF means. If someone know, please tells me at the comment section. So, he say, as the current adventurers think and feel through the TF adventurers. I want to highlight the word adventurers because the adventurers that he means is not all the players but the group of player that goes to meeting with him only, which means all of his message in this notice is not for the all players, but just some dude that goes to meeting with him only. So, he say, it was a time when I could deeply sympathize with the parts that were lacking while developing and servicing Elsword, especially the advice you gave on communication. We will do our best to show improvement in the future for the parts that are lacking. Yeah, how many times you say that you are lacking in this kind of thing, especially at making communication? And how many times that the players on the internet trying to make an advice for you to develop the game? There were many netizens on YouTube and social media that do the content for the game for you to develop the game better, but what you give them back is nothing, I don't care, etc. That is why many great creators on YouTube quit the game or stop doing the content for your game. Yeah, you ruin them for a long time and say that you lack this, we lack that, and then what? You still doing the same over and over. Keep ignoring the player and doing whatever you want and think that Elsword is your game and you can do whatever you want, yes and no. You can do whatever you want if you open the game and let the people play your game for free, so yeah. But you open the game to make a profit, so you can't do whatever you want anymore. But you need to satisfy your customer, not to angering them, or you think that make your customer in the restaurant angry and your restaurant will become success? Well, let's get to the next message. We will organize the contents of the interview so that all adventurers can see it through a notice. The part that resonated a lot during the interview was the lack of quick response and feedback on the situation, and a more detailed explanation. Unlike the expected time of the interview, there were a lot of stories coming and going, so there was a long part, so please understand that it took some time to organize it. I'd like to guide you first about the things you're most curious about. I want to highlight this, there were a lot of stories coming and going, so there was a long part, so please understand that it took some time to organize it. You know what? If you are well prepared and check the information from the internet other than your webboard and the customer service, and also play your game regularly without cheating for a GM like other players too. See exactly what the problem from your game is. An excuse like this will be reduced and you will be able to give a better answer than this. And maybe something like a meeting and interview to ask the player about how to fix the problem offline like this will not happen because you will figure it out in a short time and the meeting will be an event that is more creative and fun like the game show event rather than this boring and useless interview if you can figure it out yourself about how to fix your own problem. Alright, next. This is the part that I gave the final answer at the end of the interview, apart from the Q&A scheduled for June 1st, Thursday, and the release of the summer update. Between the end of July and the beginning of August, we will set up a separate place to communicate with adventurers. Through this time, we will be able to communicate with more adventurers. Let's highlight these words. We will set up a separate place to communicate with adventurers. Through this time, we will be able to communicate with more adventurers. So, what is a separate place that you will set up? And why need to be a separate place? Why not just do it in the open place on social media? And YouTube is one of them that was easy to communicate with the player all around the world, and people all around the world has using YouTube. And you said, we will be able to communicate with more adventurers, which mean, in the past that you telling us that you are lacking in communication all the time, and I'm not sure since when. But more than a year's for sure, which means, in the past you are just telling us that you are lacking at this, but what you does all the time since more than a year's is the same things over and over. Yeah, you know what you lacking at, but you never improve yourself and having the same behavior again and again. And that is why I call you a sociopath, because it's difficult for you to consistently meeting responsibilities related to family, work or school. Shows no regard for right and wrong and ignores the rights and feelings of others. Keeps make the player angry or upset and manipulate the player with your honey trap strategy, and also lack of remorse or do not regret your behavior because you are not care what the other feels. Well, let's go next. We will do our best to prepare for the Q&A scheduled for June 1st, Thursday. In the future, we will make sure that adventurers do not have any inconvenience in playing through the update notice. We will improve the appearance by reinforcing necessary explanations. We apologize for the inconvenience caused to adventurers due to various issues and the lack of communication, and we will do our best to become a better Elsword. Thank you. Yeah, another time of saying lack of communication. So, let's see how it going next. This message is after the summer update have announced and after Q&A meeting in the 1st of June. Let's see what he said in this message. Hello. This is Lee Dong-shin, the director of Elsword. Regarding the summer update we announced today, a lot of attention from adventurers. We are checking various opinions from various channels. So, what is your various opinions from various channels? 1. From Elsword KR Webboard. 2. From a customer service? 3. From some dude that goes meeting with you at the Q&A event? Or 4. From the internet with a Korean language only? All of this was only in Korean, and all of the opinion that you have mentioned was not even from all of the Korean player, because not all the player posted their opinion at the webboard in KR website. And not all the player using the customer service, because they know that your customer service is useless, and those dude that goes to the meeting Q&A even is not even a 1% of the Korean player. And the Korean player is not all the player that you need to care about, and the money that you get, most of them may come from the foreign player, not from Korean player. And I already make a video about the money in my channel. So, this is the various opinion of your? Alright, next. Register for the summer update notice, and it's not too long ago. It's difficult to explain your opinion right away. But any questions you may have after the current summer update information regarding your concerns about the update in general, we are reviewing our game and play impact internally. Yeah, another it's difficult that. It's always difficult for you when it come to the player opinion. And this is because you didn't understand the player, and because of you didn't care about the player and how the other feels. That is why it's always difficult for you to understand when it's come to the opinion or the feel of the others. Because you have a mental disorder and because you're a sociopath. And it's difficult for you to cure this mental disorder. Yeah, I'm not joking. This mental health disorder is very hard to cure unless you're a narcissistic, and that is the point of no return, and no elixir will cure when you reach to that point. So, we are reviewing our game and play impact internally. I think it means that you will play your game to see what is the problem, and that is the thing that what good game developer must always do. And you will never be a good game developer without playing your game. We will inform you of the results of the review of your comments as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your attention and comments on the summer update. Yeah, the same word, the same excuse as always. Let's move to the next message. This is the last message from Lee Dong-shin that posted on the KR website, and this message is after the meeting in July. So, let's see what he said in the message. Thank you to the adventurers who participated in today's Sharing Developer Notes event. It was a time to hear various thoughts about Elsword with adventurers after a long time. Yeah, did you see this word? After a long time, which means he was never checked the information from the player on the internet. It's like never. And the only opinion from the player that he really check, it's from only those dude that goes and meeting with him only. And that is why it's difficult for you to understand the other's player opinion and feeling. Yeah, because you have a mental disorder, a sociopath. Well, unlike before, it was a very meaningful time in that we were able to discuss various opinions about Elsword together. Guild, balance, resonance, buff window UI improvement, dungeon play, synergy, title, exchange, ceiling, event, etc. It was a time to share opinions on various topics of Elsword and share the thoughts of the development team. I hope I can be of some help. I think that Google Translate might have a mistake in translate this. I hope I can be of some help. Why I think like that? It's from my experience about use the Google Translate to translate Korean language. It's not accurate sometime. And what I think that is the right word is, I hope it can be some help, instead of, I hope I can be of some help. And if what I think is true, that is an insult. Lee Dong-shin was insulted you because he think that you didn't have a knowledge about the game. And this is the main reason why Lee Dong-shin is ignoring the player, because he thinking that the player has zero knowledge about the game. So, I don't need to listen to them. Yeah, that it. But this is unconfirmed and the Google Translate might not have a mistake with this. so take it as a grain of salt. Let's go to the next. Regarding the parts you gave us, we will go through the internal discussion process or refer to the necessary matters in the future update process. In addition to the comments given within the event, the booklets, video materials, printed materials, and letters prepared by collecting opinions separately after the event were well received. In addition, we will carefully check the materials delivered to the customer center. We will use it as a reference in the development and service process of Elsword in the future. Some of the opinions that can be reflected quickly will be reflected through patches. Please keep this in mind: the comments, the booklets, video materials, printed materials, and letters. All of this was from the player that goes to the event or the player that have participated in some way only. He said, "We are preparing an online Q&A in the second half after the summer update, which means around August, and what type of the online Q&A that you will preparing? What platform? YouTube? Twitter? Or Korean platform for only Korean player can participated? How about the foreign player? How about English language? You know what? I have a feeling that in this online Q&A event was preparing for only Korean, not for all the players all around the world, and this is my expectation only. And the comment section will be full of Korean language for sure, and if some brave foreigner guy have typing English in the comment section, I'm 70% sure that you will feels like you're a outsider in that event and they probably ignore you. And no one is wrong to use English on the internet, and the internet was built on English language, not Korean. The code that programmer used was also built on English, not Korean, and mean international, net mean network. It's an international network, not Korean net. So, please, respect. It's a pity that I couldn't meet many people this time. We hope to see you at various events in the future. Thank you." He said, "It's a pity that I couldn't meet many people this time," which means, the player that goes to the meeting was less that before June summer update because the player might know that it's waste of time to go to the meeting, and that is positive for me. And I agree with boycott this kind of event, because even if you goes to the meeting you will change nothing. And everything is still the same because the one who changed the game is KOG, not you." And he also said, "We hope to see you at various events in the future," which means he planned this kind of event in the future too. So, as I said on my recent community tab about meeting Q&A event, you will understand it after reading my post. So, just boycott it. Force them to find the answer from the player online instead, and that they will receive a lot of opinion of more player. And that is all the message from this guy Lee Dong-shin on the summer update event. Did you guys agree with me that Lee Dong-shin has a mental disorder called sociopath? Please tell me at the comment below, and thank you for watching and have a good day.